kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. Please try, where's the time? Everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York. And a good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to New York Met Baseball 2007 replay. How you doing? And tonight we are gonna try something different. I know a lot of people out there are playing cards and dice, so I'm gonna at least get something on the table with that in mind. Tonight is going to be the opening game of the season between the Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm kind of tossing back and forth on ideas and stuff I want to do. So since I have the Strat matic game up on my system here, I might try to start it before we continue. So let's go ahead and poll. Let's see if we can pull. Oops, I just lost my game. All right, well, that's not good. Give me 1 minute. I'll bring it back up. And, or I can do it somewhere else. Haha. Let's do it this way. So tonight will be the New York Mets versus the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think it should be a good one. It will be Tom Glavine on the mound for the New York Mets taking on Chris Carpenter. To see if I can pull something down real quick here. There we go. Ballpark effects. Let's see. Do I have 2007 National League? The answer would be yes. So the game tonight is in St. Louis. So let's see. So the singles are going to be 1-9. Home runs are 1-3. So let's make sure we write that down. So I decided maybe I will do the ballpark effects for this one. Again, if people are watching, wondering rules to be played, I'm more than willing to go over that. And here we go. So on the mound for the Cardinals is Chris Carpenter. We are using his card from the viewer because it looks like he blew out his, I'm assuming he blew out his UCL or Tommy John that year because he only had one start. So he didn't have a full card. So basically the viewer gives you everything, or the Strat PC gives you all his, even if you make one start, the card is going to have some kind of replay value to it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully we can do this and show okay. So for the Mets, it will be Jose Reyes leading off, followed by Paul LaDuca, followed by Carlos Beltran, Carlos Delgado, David Wright, Moises Alou, Sean Green, Jose Valentin, and Tom Glavine. And for the Cardinals, it's the defending world champions. It is going to be David Eckstein at short, Preston Wilson at right, Albert Pujols at first, Scott Rowland at third, Yadier Molina behind the plate, Jim Edmonds in center, So Taguchi in left, Adam Kennedy at second, and Chris Carpenter making his first and only start of the year. We'll be using the super advanced stolen bases along with the super advanced fielding. And like I said, I'll be using the ballpark effect. So singles are 1-9, home runs are 1-3. So let's do it here from St. Louis. So it's going to be Jose Reyes leading off, switch hitter, batting from the left-hand side. At this point of the career, he was considered to be the most exciting player in baseball. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 5-11 to the lefty, and that's a base hit for Jose Reyes. Leads off against the left-hander. So Reyes is on. And let's see what kind of numbers Jose Reyes has. -1, but you're going to run on Yadier Molina. So you're going to hold them. That's -2. Yadier Molina's is a -4. So that is going to be a topped off at a -5. Reyes would be a 1 to 14 if he gets it on a 2, 6, 11, and 12. We're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to go ahead and do the strategy roll. So it'll be 2, 6, 11, 12. He's going to go. That's a 5. Reyes is going to try to run on Yachty. 1 to 14 says safe, and he's in there. So a stolen base for Jose Reyes. So Reyes leads off, goes to second. He's on at second with nobody out, and a good start. So he takes the 70% chance and goes. And now here is Paul LaDuca. The Mets trying to get started here quick. Gonna find different ways to play this. If not, let's see how well it goes. Here's LaDuca, and that's going to be a ballpark single. Ballpark singles are 1 to 9. That's a 16. That's going to be a line drive to the shortstop and 1 away. So LaDuca is retired. So batting for the Mets will be Carlos Beltran. Not a bad contract, if you ask me. Had some very good years for the Mets. He will he'll switch hit and bat left-handed against Carpenter. Here's the pitch. 3-7 versus righties, a strikeout. So Carpenter with a K. That is his second that is his first out strikeout of the day, second out of the inning. Now here is the first baseman, Carlos Delgado. So Carlos Delgado, another excellent guy, got a great career. Left-handed hitter against Carpenter, and the pitch 4-6 versus a lefty is a ground ball. No, 4-6 to a lefty is a single, 2 stars. That will score Reyes, and the Mets lead 1-0. So the single, stolen base for Reyes, RBI Delgado, and the Mets now lead it 1-0. So RBI for Delgado. Mets lead 1-0. Delgado is not going to be held, and he's not going anywhere. So David Wright, the batter, young, very excellent third baseman, should be the next New York Met retired. So here in retired numbers, here's the next pitch to David Wright, 5-2 to a righty, and that is a fly ball center field. The catch is going to be made by Edmonds, makes the catch, and that is it. Mets get 1 run on 2 hits, 1/2 inning of play. Mets 1, Cardinals coming up the bat. For the Mets, former Atlanta Brave Tom Glavine. So Glavine is on the mound, and he'll pitch to the Mets, and it will be David Eckstein. So Eckstein will lead off for the Cardinals. Not much speed on this Cardinal team. He'll be followed by Preston Wilson and Albert Pujols. So bottom 1, trying to see how we can do this here. Like my dice tray, like everything else, just don't want to rolling on the table and make sure everything stays in one place. So Eckstein will bat. Here's the pitch. That will be a 6-6 to a righty for Glavine, and that's going to be trouble. That will be good. That goes to the wall, hops all the way to the wall. Eckstein for 2. He'll go for 3 and will make it, standing with a triple. So a triple for Eckstein. And he's on at third with nobody out for Preston Wilson. So Preston Wilson will now come up, runner on third and nobody out. So Glavine starts off in a bad way. So Glavine gets hit hard. Here's Wilson, right-handed batter, and the pitch 2-8 to a lefty, struck him out. So he leaves the runner stranded at third, 1 away. And now here's King Albert. Boy, later in the season, you would say, yeah, just put Albert on. But on deck is Scott Rowland. Well, Rowland didn't play much that year, did he? He was definitely you probably wouldn't do it in baseball, but I wonder. So Albert will swing away. Runner on third, 1 out. Pujols to swing. And the swing will be a 5-5 versus a righty. A ground ball to short. That will be Reyes. Let's see what Reyes's rating is. That's one thing I probably should have done is put the ratings in. Reyes is a 2E12, so very accomplishable. Infield is back. Not going to sit back and give up a run in this case. A 10 on the 11, 11 on a 12. Let's take a look at it. I haven't played in the cards and dice in a while, so let me see if I can pull up my chart. 11 on a 12 says no error. Ground ball to short. Run will score. We're tied at 1. So 6-3 is the play. RBI for Albert. And with 2 outs, it's 1-1. So 1-1 ball game here. Stratomatic Network, how you doing? Welcome in. Here is Scott Rowland. So Rowland, the batter. Rowland. Here's Rowland. 4-7 against Glavine. 1-13 single. That's a 9. That's a base hit for Rowland. So Rowland is on. Definitely not one of his best seasons with 2 outs. And here's the catcher, Yadier Molina. Let's see what Yadi has in store. Runner on first and 2 outs. The hole from Glavine. That's going to be a 6-5 to Glavine. He hit that one almost before, too. Yadi, 6-5. He is powered up 1-10. That is a 10. That's deep. That's far. Goodbye, baseball. Going, gone, goodbye. 6-5 home run 1-10. That is a 10. Molina homers, and the Cardinals quickly take a 3-1 lead. So Yachty goes far and deep, drives in Rowland, and all of a sudden, bad inning for Tom Glavine. Here's Jim Edmonds. So a 3-1 ball game here in the first was not like this in real life, as they say in real world. Here's the pitch, 6-2 versus a lefty. Ground ball back to Glavine. He's usually like Maddox, a great fielder. He's only an E. He's an E7, and he's a 2E7. So that's almost going to be, well, hopefully it doesn't roll anything weird. Oh, that could be a 14 on a 7, knowing sometimes how Strat does their pitcher cards. Let's see how it affects them. Give me one moment to find my pitcher's chart, and we'll find out together if there is going to be an error involved. So pitcher on a 14 on a 7. Pitcher on a 7, no error, and throws him out. Side is retired, but the Cardinals come back and score 3 of their own. 1 inning of play, 3-1 St. Louis. Trying to think if there's a positive way of trying to do this. Terms I can't really, it's hard to move the main computer that's kind of generating the game itself, and then I want to make sure you guys are going to see everything also. So here is Moises Alou. It almost sounds almost like a radio broadcast to a certain extent. So Lou will bat top of the second against Carpenter. It could be a bullpen game opening day of the season. 6-6 to a righty, and that is going to be a fly ball to left field. The catch will be made by Taguchi, and there's one away. Remember, this is I guess the game. Carpenter will blow out his elbow or something because he only makes one start on this season. Here's Sean Green. The Mets picked him up to add some offense. Didn't have Sean Green here they expected. Yep, and that's the way they're going to look, I think, unless I can. Sean Green here they expected. Yep, and that's the way they're going to look, I think, unless I can flip them. If I flip them, then I can't see them. So I got to see if my system allows to do that. So let me see. Am I on? Okay, I'm on YouTube right now. Hang on. Let me go to my game, and we'll see if I can. Let's see. Extensions, tools, preview editor. Let's see. Can I do a preview editor? I'm not paying for the. So see, preview editor does get into that. So Again, I'm using XSplit. So if somebody else is using that, you can tell me how to maybe how to do that, or if you need to make let me see. Okay, let's see if it's in this one. Copy. Hide. Give me. I don't. I have time to play around with this, so let me see if there's a way to. Let's see if there's a way to flip this around. Let's see. There's not. I mean, I know there is because I know that's what I think that's what RJL does. And again, they all use a overhead camera. I'm using one that's using one basically coming off my desktop. So again, it was a little bit harder for me. So let's go back to the game and hopefully we'll continue onward here. All right. So it's going to be top two, and it's going to be Sean Green, the batter, against Carpenter. It's going to be a 4-4 versus a lefty. That is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop for the Cardinals. That is going to be David Eckstein. David Eckstein for the Cardinals is a 3E30. So 3 is not good. And the 30 can be kind of adventuresome also. Let's see how he does. That's an 8. There's no error. 12 is good. So 6-3. So Green thrown out. And here is Jose Valentin with 2 outs. So Valentin, the batter. I guess you could say it's going to be like a radio broadcast. 5-3 for Valentin versus a lefty's ground ball back to Carpenter. He is an E0. He is going to be a pitcher 3. So unless you roll a 1, 2, or 3, I believe, or a 4, he's good. That's it. He throws him out. So Carpenter, 1, 2, 3 inning for the mighty Mets. So nothing across. We go to the bottom of the second here in Bush. Defending world champion Cardinals lead it 3-1. So Glavine will come back out, and the Cardinals will send up So Taguchi, followed by Kennedy. Will send up So Taguchi, followed by Kennedy and Carpenter here in the second. That's going to be a 3-11 for Taguchi versus the lefty. Ground ball to third, throws him out, 1 away. So Taguchi's a nice, easy first out. And now here is going to be Adam Kennedy. Kennedy gets our man. Doesn't play against the lefties, it seems. So this is going to be probably not a good one. 4-5. Ground ball to first. Takes it himself. 3-1. Glavine gets over, takes it for the second out. So good start for him. Chris Carpenter is a 1. So he's a 1 hitting pitcher. So only a 210 is going to be an out. Oh, he swings. So Carpenter will swing a good hit this time. 4-3 versus a righty. Fly ball to right field. He hit it to the outfield where you want to do. So the Mets, that is Sean Green in right. And we know the Mets probably not going to have good outfielders. 4E5 in right. Yikes. So Carpenter may get on base on this. 4E5, that's an 11. There's no error on the 5, but I believe that's going to land in hit land. Sean Green is going to misplay that one, and this is going to happen. You wonder how teams will do in certain aspects. And this is where I'm gonna wonder. Single, actually, 1-11 is a single. 12 would have been an out. Let's drop in front of him. So Carpenter, before he goes on the IL, gets himself a base hit. So back to David Eckstein with 2 outs. Let's see. All right, never mind. Give me a second here. See if I can pick this one up real quick. All right, the swing, all 1. So David Eckstein, 1-2 versus a lefty, ground ball to short. Throws them out and the sides. Retired. We play 2. It is 3-1 Cardinals. We go to the third. So Carpenter goes out for third inning of work. For the Mets, it will be Glavine, followed by the top of the order, Reyes and LaDuca. So Tom Glavine is going to be a pitcher hitter's card number 3. Let's go ahead and get that card out for me here. We'll go ahead and swing away. The swing is going to be a 1-7. That's probably going to be a strikeout. Nope. Ground ball the second, throws him out, and that's it. So Glavine is retired, one away. And now it's going to be the shortstop, Jose Reyes. So Reyes comes up. See if I can leave the cards there. I should be able to see it, right? Here's the swing. 3-7 for Reyes versus a righty. Is a single 1-6. That's a 15. That's going to be a line drive to the second baseman. So Reyes is 1 for 2. Here is the catcher, Paul LaDuca. 2 out LaDuca here in the third. Cardinals leading 3-1. Opening night, 2007 New York Mets replay. That's going to be a 3-11 for LaDuca versus a righty. That's a ground ball to first. He'll take the bag himself. So LaDuca is an E. That's an easy play for Albert. He'll take it to the bag unassisted. And we play 2.5 here in St. Louis, home of the world champion Cardinals. It is 3-1 St. Louis. I guess you can, this is the official New York Met radio broadcast. Bottom 3, and here it is going to be Preston Wilson, Albert Pujols, and Scott Rowland batting for the Cardinals. Sure, have everyone up. So it'll be Wilson against Glavine here in the third. Thank you, folks, for being here and the likes. Appreciate the start. 6-12 versus a righty. Ground ball back to Glavine. He's an E7. He's a 2 E7. And he'll throw him out. So 17. Let's see what we'll throw here. Glavine will get it. Let's see if he'll throw him out or not. That is going to be a 4. He's a 4 on a 2. And let's see. So 4 on a 2. We're gonna have to take our chances here. Ground ball 3. So he fumbled it around a little bit. 11 on the 7. It's a 12. Throws him out. Good job by Glavine. And there's 2 outs. So let's see. Wilson's 1-3. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Barbara, here she is. Yep, she's one of the ones I was thinking about you. That's why I'm doing this. I know you like watching. You want to learn Stratomatic. I'm so happy to see you playing. And I'm also playing advanced for that reason too. So if you have any questions regarding advanced, that's why I'm playing it for you, and hopefully playing a lot of these games out either on PC or on cards and dice. So I'm going to try to be rolling these games, these games or the Mets out. So I appreciate you there having dinner time and watch you. Good job. Thank you for being here. Now it will be King Albert. So King Albert will swing. 1 out here in the third. Cardinals already lead 3-1. 2007 New York Met replay. Here is a 4-5 to Glavine. He keeps it off Albert's card. Ground ball the third, throws him out, and there's 2 outs. So Glavine, after a tough start, has righted the ship, as they say. Here is Scott Rowland, big hit of the ball game, a Yadier Molina home run. He gave the Cardinals the 3-1 lead in the first. Mets had a run in the first on a Reyes single, stolen base, RBI by Delgado. The Cardinals came back and tied it. Triple by Eckstein, ground ball by Pujols, single by Rowland, home run by Molina. So Cardinals with the early lead, but we're still early. Here is Scott Rowland. So 2 outs for Rowland. 3-8 versus a lefty. He walks. So Rowland walks. Okay. Well, he's been on twice with a single and a walk. Let's see if Rowland can steal. Glavine is a -5, so I don't think you're going anywhere. No, he does not run well. He's a C, so he'll be held, but he won't be going anywhere. Here's the catcher, Yadier Molina. Again, tough guy you want to play against. 4-7 from Glavine is going to be a single 1-13. That's a 4, and that is going to be a single for Yadier Molina. So he's 2 for 2. Gets rolling the second, first and second, 2 outs for the catcher, Jimmy Edmonds. So Edmonds. So this is a good matchup. Edmonds usually doesn't hit lefties well. That season he hit 198 versus lefties. So it's kind of a good matchup for Glavine here. He kind of got hit hard too. So let's see. Glavine lefty lefty matchup. Does he get the pitch? 2-7 versus the lefties where Edmonds wants it and he walks. That is a bad job of pitching by Glavine. Bases loaded worth of Cardinals here. And with this all happens with 2 outs, and here is Cy Taguchi. So Taguchi will bat here. Glavine in a little bit of a jam. Taguchi, bases loaded, 2 outs. Glavine trying to get out of a tough jam from the stretch. 112 versus a lefty is going to be a single 1-6. Gets the 10. Line drive to the shortstop, and Tom Glavine gets out of his chinny chin chin, leaves the bases loaded after 3, St. Louis 3, New York 1. So Taguchi is now not. That will get him out of there. Carpenter in his 4th inning of work. Again, for those who have not been here earlier, this is Carpenter's lone start of the year. That's why we are using his card from the viewer. He only had 1 start, and Stratomatic did not card it, of course, but it is on their PC or was in the viewer when it was active. Beltran, Delgado, and Wright to bat for the Mets. So the heart of this Met order versus Chris Carpenter. 4-5 versus a switch hitting Beltran, and that is going to be a ground ball to short. That is going to be again Eckstein. He's a 3E30, I believe it was before. And that's going to be a 10. He'll get to it. There's no error on a 7. Throws them out, 1 away. So Beltran is 0-for-2. Here is the first baseman, Carlos Delgado. Carlos Delgado. Delgado 1-for-1 with a single. Big bruising first baseman for the Mets. He'll swing left-handed against Carpenter. Carpenter's elbow's starting to twitch a little bit. Here's the pitch. 1-8 for Delgado versus a righty, and that is a single to right field. So Delgado is on. So Carlos is 2-for-2. Runner on first, 1 out. He's not going to be held. He's a D stealer. He can get the lead on a deuce, but we're not going to try it, especially with Yachty out there. Here is David Wright. Of course, he should be the next New York Met retired in the Met Hall of Fame. Right-handed hitter against Carpenter. 4-7 versus a righty, and that is a single, 2 stars. So 2-star single sends Delgado, must have been in the corner. The big man lumbers the third, and a base hit for Captain America, David Wright. First and third, 1 out. Wright does have some speed, but again, you're running a -5 on him. That's a 14 to go. So we'll see if we want to go. Do you want to play? Extra aggressive here? On for the Mets, up next is Moises Alou. We're going to try to be aggressive. 4-6. He gets the 4. So he can run, but unfortunately, it's going to be a -5 on that first number. So 1-14 says safe. David Wright steals second base. So David Wright being aggressive, steals second. Second and third, 1 out for Moises Alou. Again, the outfield defense is horrible on this Met team, but they have some good, strong bats. So here's Moises, gets the chance. Cardinals in the 4th inning will play. Do we want to play the infield in or not? That's the question. They say, you know what? This is Tony La Russa. They're going to try to bring the infield in. They're going to try to stop them here. So 1-4 for Moises Alou. It did not matter. Fly ball deep to right field. Way back is the left fielder. He looks up, as Ralph Kiner would say, going, gone, good night, goodbye. Home run, Moises Alou, and the New York Mets take a 4-3 lead. Did not matter if that was infield in or not. So Delgado scores. David Wright scores. 3-run bang bomb for David Wright. Mets take a 4-3 lead. One out here in the fourth. And here is Sean Green. So Green, the swing, left-handed bat again, a bat the Mets brought over. They signed to a contract. So Green, the batter, 2-6 to a righty is a single for Sean Green. So Green singles, not in Carpenter's inning of fatigue. He is a 5. Again, he might come out sooner than that. Here is Jose Valentin, switch hitter, will bat from, I believe it's a switch hitter. Let's see. Of course, the manager is the famed New York Yankee player Willie Randolph. Of course, this is the year the Mets collapsed, giving another reason to play this replay to see if I can avoid it. Valentin, a left-handed hitter against Carpenter. That's a 5-9 versus switch, and that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Catch is made by Taguchi, and that is out number 2. And now we come to Tom Glavine's part of the lineup. Glavine, he swings at a 3, so he's a 3 hitter. So Glavine comes up, hopefully not an easy out. Here's a swing. 1-7 again. That will be a 3. Ground ball to second. Throws him out is Adam Kennedy. Side retired. Mets score 3 in the fourth, and it is 4-3 Mets. So the Mets will bring up Reyes to start the fifth. This will be Kennedy, Carpenter, and Eckstein against Glavine, who is a 6 starter. So Kennedy, Adam Kennedy, everyone gets his man. Or a wrestling fan, Mr. Kennedy. So Kennedy, a left-handed hitter, big time with the Angels in 02. 1-5, but he doesn't hit lefties at all. That is a whiff. Struck him out. So 1 away is Kennedy. So now here is the interesting part now. Do you bat Carpenter in the fourth? I guess you do. His arm hasn't fallen off officially yet. It's 2007. So 4-7. Of course, Ken Carpenter did get a single off the Mets outfielder the last time up. 4-7 versus a righty. He's a single 1-13. Carpenter gets his second hit of the game. So he goes on the IL for the remaining part of the year after this game. And he has 2 hits. So he's going to bat 1,000 before he even leaves. So congratulations to Mr. Chris Carpenter. 2 hits in the ball game. So now here's Eckstein. Eckstein the swing. 4-3 versus a righty. Fly ball right field. That is Sean Green. That, of course, we have said before, is trouble. Green is a 4E5. You need a 20 to be at least 11 or higher to avoid a hit. The error is not going to be much of a problem. Let's see. That's a 10. It's not. There's no error on the 8, though. But unfortunately for all your New York Met fans, a 10 on a 4 is a single 2. So it sends Carpenter to third. Base hit for Eckstein, as he is 2 for 3 in the ball game. So Eckstein is on. So the Cardinals continue to kind of hit along here. So here's Preston Wilson, first and third, 1 out. The Mets will play the infield then. Randolph doesn't want to let this lead slide away. Hopefully he doesn't do what Moises Alou did. So here it is, 1-3 for Preston Wilson, I believe related to Mookie. 1-3 versus a lefty is a ground ball to third, picked up by David Wright. Chris Carpenter is caught in the middle. They'll throw home, back to third. Tag is made by David Wright. So they get the guy at home. So that is going to be a fielder's choice. Runners now at first and second, and Carpenter is out at the plate. So great defensive play there. So now they get Wilson out of the way. But now you get the worst possible option. That is King Albert. What do you do if you are the Mets here? Fourth inning. You knew what King Albert did last season. So it's basically technically it's not a free base, but David Cone, there's always a free base. Doesn't matter if it's second and third. You just put a guy on. You don't waste your time with it. Albert is 0 for 2 with an RBI. This is a tough situation if you're Tom Glavine from the stretch. 5-8 gets away with it, pops up to first. Big play by Delgado, squeezes it, sides retired. Cardinals strand two more. Cardinals have left the Gilligan's Island on a 3-hour tour. We played four, and it is 4-3 Mets. This is the inning of fatigue for Chris Carpenter. So, Met fans, let's see what the Cardinals will do here. First chance of fatigue. Let's see. Let's see if I can find. Oh, here we go. I can do this. Let's look at the schedule for the Met here. Let's see what I can find out about them here. So they did win this game in real life, as they say, 6-1. Let's see. After winning the game 6-1, who did what? Glavine did go 6 innings. Feliciano, Smith, Howman, and this was Carpenter for 5. Thompson, no bullpen, just using real world statistics there. So now we're in the top of the 5th inning. Jose Reyes to lead off. Reyes has singled, stole second, scored in line the second. Carpenter on the mound. 4-5. 4-5 to Carpenter to a lefty is a ground ball to shortstop. X, get a lot of those. Eckstein, 3-E-30. No error on a 5, no error on an 8. That is an out. That's where people say you roll too many dice. No, you don't. If you know the chart, you know singles on a 3 is like 1, 2, 3, and hit. 7 and 8, there's never an error on an 8. Usually there's not, unless you're like an E50 or something. So on an E30, just let's see if there's any errors on a 30, on an 8, just to be sure. In case there is one in the future, I'm looking at my chart. There are no errors on an 8. So just saying. But on E30 for Eckstein, 4, 12, 3, 17, 18. So those are your errors. So that is going to be an easy out. One away here is Paulie LaDuca. So LaDuca, the batter. LaDuca is 0 for 2. Pop to short and ground the first. New York Mets radio broadcast, as this is the Mets leading the Cardinals by the score of 4-3. Top of the 5th inning, Busch Stadium, home of the world champion St. Louis Cardinals. 2007 Met replay. 5-4 versus a righty on Carpenter is going to be a ground ball. The third, that is rolling. He got in the Hall of Fame because of his glove. He's a 2E15. Let's see if Roland can make this play or not. If I can pick up dice, I will. Here's the throw. Oh, that could be trouble. A 16 on a 15. And that is going to be a what on the 20? That is going to be a 6. He's a 2, so he's not giving that up. 16 on a 15. That scares me. So let's go ahead. We're gonna have to go inside our little book here and see if any error was officially made. Give me 1 second. I just had the chart in front of me. It was always fun to be trying to dig through charts here. Oh, here it is. So he is an E15. E15 says errors 13, 15, 3, 16. That is a 16. That's an E2. So the Hall of Famer, Scott Rowland, who's in the Hall of Fame for his glove, makes the 2-base error. So Rowland puts a guy on second with one away. So runner on second, one out. Here's Carlos Beltran. So Beltran the bat. So Beltran with a runner on second and no out. He's 0 for 2. Had a slow start. He's a switch hitter batting from the left-hand side. And here is the swing. 2-8 is going to be a pop up the first. Albert's got it. He squeezes it. And Beltran is 0 for 3 with 2 outs. So here is Carlos Delgado. Delgado 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. He's been one of the Mets' good hitters so far today. No runners in scoring positions. Oh, yes, there is. LaDuca's on at second, so this is a clutch situation. So runner on second. Here's the pitch. 5-4. 5-4 for Mr. Carpenter from a left-hand side. Ground ball to third. That is rolling again. Let's see if he makes this one. E15. That's no hit on the 16. Oh, 14 again. 14 on a 15. Can Roland make two errors? The Mr. Hall of Famer himself. Let's see. Does Roland make two on the 14? No, 13, 15, 16, 18. That adds to a 14. So no error. Roland bobbles, throws them out, and the inning is over. So Chris Carpenter gives you 5 innings. It is 4-3 Mets heading to the fifth. Halfway through. So Tom Glavine out there for the Metropolitans. He'll see if he can get him through this. So Glavine will pitch to Roland, Molina, and Edmonds. Here's the pitch. That will be a 3-4 for Roland. 3-4 versus a lefty is a ballpark single here in St. Louis. It's 1-9. That's a 13. That's a line drive to the shortstop. So Roland is retired. First time he's been retired. He had singled and walked. So one away, and here's Yachty. Yachty with a 2-run homer and a single, so he is 2 for 2. Glavine trying to give some Mets some innings here. Probably a warm night in St. Louis, April 1st. Not really a warm night, probably a cool night. April 1st, 2007. So April Fools. 3-10 for Molina versus a lefty, and that's a double to right field. Yachty's a triple from the cycle, and he's on board. So Yachty's on at second. Boy, he's been an absolute pain today. Runner on second and one out for Yachty. And now it's time for Jimmy Edmonds. So again, playing David Demo's rules of do not pinch hit with as played lineups till the 7th inning. So we're playing that too. So these guys are going to have to swing. So here's Edmonds. Again, doesn't hit lefties that well. Again, a matchup Glavine should win. Here's the pitch, but that's why we play baseball. 5 figures, 4-8 lefties, a single 2 stars. Edmonds ties the game up, and we're tied at 4. So RBI, Molina scores for the second time, and the Mets now have a 4-4 ball game. So Edmonds singles. He is on at first. No longer possesses any speed, so he won't be held. And here's So Taguchi. They get down the Carpenter spot. They may be hitting for him. There is one out here, runner on first. Here's Taguchi. 3-8 versus a lefty. That is going to be a single 1-11. That's a 10. That's a base hit. Just gets past Reyes. And it's first and second. First and second, one out for Adam Kennedy. Again, got to swing away. Carpenter's on deck and probably will be pinch hit for. That's one thing will make a change for. Carpenter has reached his point of weakness here. So here we go. Bases, it is now first and second, one out for Kennedy, and the swing. 6-7. 6-7 versus a lefty against Glavine. Single 2 stars. Cardinals lead it 5-4. So Kennedy with a base hit. We may have a double switch here. And that actually gives Carpenter the win if they can hold on. Scores Edmonds from second, sends Taguchi to third, RBI base hit. 5-4 Cardinals with one out for Carpenter. Oh, Carpenter, does he want to go one more inning? He'll swing. It's first and third, one out. Still not feeling his elbow yet, not the injury, so he'll swing. Infield will play in. 1-7 should be a whiff. He is a 1, and it is. So he strikes out. He's a competitor. He wants to stay in and try to win this ball game. So now here is David Eckstein. Boy, the Mets now, after again the second time they've trailed today, Mets trying to make their way back. So Glavine from the stretch, big pitch in this game, 3-6 to a lefty, and that is going to be a horseshoe. That is going to be a line drive to the shortstop as Eckstein chokes in the clutch, and that is your inning. He would have had a base hit, but in a clutch, runners are at first and third. That will retire the side. So Eckstein leaves more Cardinals on base. but the Cardinals get two. It's 5-4 Cardinals. We head to the sixth inning, and the Mets will send up Wright, Alou, and Green. So Wright, Alou, and Green against Carpenter here in the sixth. LaRussa is watching on intently here. See if Carpenter can go any longer here. So here's Wright. Right on. Oop, that is going to be a leaner. We'll roll that again. Don't have a tower, so that would be equivalent of a bad roll. 4-10 on Carpenter on a righty is a ground ball to third. Ground ball to third. Roland got this one, throws him out easy enough, and that is an out. So David Wright has been retired. He's officially 1 for 3. Here is Moises Alou. Moises Alou has had fly to left and hit a long 3-run homer that gave the Mets the temporary lead. That was back in the 4th inning. 1-3 for Moises. Does he do it again? No, it's a ballpark single. 1-9. It's a 13. Line drive to the shortstop. 2 outs. Oh, baby. Moises hit it on the nuts, but the shortstop Eckstein was there, played him perfectly. 2 away. And now here is Sean Green. Can Carpenter give the Cardinals 6 strong innings? Let's see. Here it is. 3-4 for Green, not a 3-hitter. Ground ball to short. That's Eckstein. Throws them out, and Chris Carpenter has given the Cardinals 6 strong innings. It is now 5-4 favor of the Cardinals. We head to the bottom of the 6th. So now that was probably the last inning for Glavine. This will be the last inning for Glavine one way or the other. He bats second in next inning. So it will be Wilson, Pujols, and Roland. And again, they've been dodging Pujols' mistakes right now. We'll see if he continues it. Preston Wilson. Here's Preston. 3-5 versus a lefty. And that's a walk. Jesus. And Glavine just continues to kind of walk his way around landmines. And here comes the biggest one. That's Albert. Albert so far in the ball game has an RBI. He's 0 for 3, but he is waiting to ignite right now. So let's see if Albert can get a big blow to really kill him here. Glavine from the stretch needs to make an absolute big pitch. 1-8. You want to pitch Albert there. Single 1-18. That's a 10. That's a base hit for Albert. So the Cardinals are getting the splits. That's for sure. Albert will go to first, and now that's his first hit of the ball game. 2 on in the 6th. That would probably have to be a double switcheroo to not to avoid the pitcher coming up. So let's see for the Cardinals who is up as they're doing some advanced scouting. That will be Roland. They're not exactly afraid of Yolen, and yeah, you're not. If Yachty comes up, you're not getting Glavine here. So you're gonna have a righty ready to come in. So here we go. First and second, nobody out for Roland. They'll pitch to him. Roland has been effective. He's 1 for 2. And the swing, 5-2 on Glavine. That is a fly ball in the left field. Catch is made by Alou, 1 away, and that is a huge out. So here's Yachty, and that should be all. Here comes Willie. And now what are the Mets going to do? Are they willing to bring somebody in as a one reliever to just get him a couple outs and then pull him? Again, this was the year of no. You can flip flop relievers. You don't have to keep them in for 3. We're looking at our staff right now and see who is the option for this Met team. So this doesn't seem the spot you'd bring in Heilman either. So is this the opportunity for Joe Smith? 44 innings, he's a 1. That is basically would be his job. So Joe Smith will come on for Tom Glavine here. So Smith is the new pitcher. So Glavine doesn't even do the 6 innings he did in real world, as they say. 5 1/3 for Tom Glavine. So here is Yachty. He's a triple from the cycle. He homered with 2 RBIs in the first, singled in the third, doubled back in the fifth, and scored. So want to change Yachty's look at things. He normally hits lefties really well. So we're going to go ahead and bring the righty in, and hopefully we'll get a double play here. First and second, one out. Yachty, the batter. Here we go. New pitcher is Joe Smith. 2-7. That's what Yachty was hitting. No, that's the good spot for Yachty. Okay, you wanted to be in the two where he has nothing there. 2-7's a fly ball center field. That's Beltran makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. And now here is Jimmy Edmonds. So Edmonds, the batter. So Edmonds, does Carpenter come out for a seventh inning since he will bat like third or fourth next inning? Might as well use him before his arm blows off, literally. 3-9 for Edmonds. Again, lefty matchup, and struck him out. So the Mets avoid any more problems. We go to the bottom. We played six. Met Cardinals lead it 5-4, going to the seventh here in St. Louis. This is officially the New York Mets radio broadcast for the 2007 Stratomatic season. Unless we're playing, I guess, on the computer part of it. You're seeing the dice. Unfortunately, can't really do a lot cards wise to see. We'll try to work on that and get it working better. 5-4 seventh. Valentine probably be a pinch hitter for the Joe Smith spot, and then it will be Jose Reyes. So Carpenter says, "Yeah, let me at him. This will be his last inning before he would fatigue anyway." So Valentine, pinch hitter on deck, and then it will be Reyes, top seven, letting him go here. 3-8 versus a righty for Valentine. Ground ball the second. Good play there by Kennedy. He gets his man, one away. So now this is the pinch hitting spot of the ball game. What do the Mets do in this case? So let's see here. They won the game, so they probably didn't pinch hit a lot. Let's see. It was like David Newen was one of the pinch hitters that evening. Everyone else got their 4 or 5 at bats. So let's see. Pedro Knees, Newen. Yeah, so it's David Newen, Newhan. So he'll be the new hitter here for the Mets. Just want to kind of get somebody in there. Where is young David? He got the call. He had 74 bats during the season. Again, not always playing real world, but I'm just might as well, not really going for any particular. He's a left-handed hitter, so he would be the one to hit against Carpenter here. So here's his first swing. 4-6 versus a lefty. That is going to be a single. So Newen gets himself a base hit. So the pinch hitter gets himself a pinch hit single. So he's on, time runners on, and it brings up Reyes. And again, LaRusso is looking on very intently right now. Reyes definitely liked lefties a lot better. So Carpenter analytics would say back then that Carpenter will stay in their pitch to him. Reyes batting from the left-hand side. Here's the pitch. 2-7 versus a righty, and that's a double 1-11. That is a 17. So the center fielder comes in, Edmonds, with a great catch, and there is 2 outs. So Reyes denied by Edmonds, 1-11 on a single, rolled to 17. 2 outs for LaDuca. Now again, Russo looks on. What do you do? Ooh, destroy. Yeah, again, same position. Carpenter stays out there. This is the better analytical movement here. Right-handed pitcher for LaDuca. Here's the pitch. 3-7. That's a fly ball to center field. That again will be Edmonds. Makes the catch, and we go to the seventh inning stretch. Go up and stretch, folks. It's 5-4 Cardinals in the seventh. Taguchi, Kennedy, and then a pinch hitter for Carpenter in the seventh. So Joe Smith will be gone. Now the question is Duca You know what? Maybe this could be the Pedro Feliciano inning. So Pedro Feliciano will come in because he'll have Kennedy. You can't hit lefties basically. Don't think you're going to pull him out with the better gloves. So let's see in the seventh inning. Let's see what do we want to do. Okay, so that would be point two for Smith, and then we go to Feliciano. So Feliciano comes in the seventh. We'll pitch to let's see who he will pitch. Bottom seven will be Taguchi Kennedy. So Taguchi and Kennedy up. And Taguchi likes lefties a little bit more. So that kind of a will be a kind of you want definitely Taguchi. Well, he was hit against Glavine before and didn't do anything, so that's fine. So Feliciano looks in and the pitch. 6-10 to a righty. Ground ball to third. That is David Wright. Very strong defensive player. Probably mid twos. Nothing serious. 2E22. So we'll see what the 22 can harm you with. Let's see. We'll throw again. Need to roll low to avoid an error. That's going to be an 11. Avoids the error. I've already told you guys there's no error on an 8. That's it. That's an out. So that's a quick out for Taguchi as Captain America makes the first play. Here's Adam Kennedy. Now, do you go against the odds? Kennedy's a 316 at second. Cardinals will now just peekaboo at their bench and see who they have. Do they have anyone to play center field, second base who is of any worthless here? Spezia wouldn't play it. Bennett, their extra second baseman looks to be Aaron Miles, and he's kind of there and there, not nothing serious. He's a 312 at second, so so Kennedy will stay in the game. So nothing. I will move there. Here's the swing. That will be a 5-8. So a 5-8 for Kennedy against Feliciano. Ground ball, the second. Nice, easy play there for the New York Mets second baseman. That is Jose Valentin. Makes the play, and there's two outs in the seventh. And the fans give Chris Carpenter a nice ovation, not realizing they will not see him for the remaining part of the season. So let's see who swings a bat versus a lefty for the Cardinals. Who you can just throw in there. Basically, this is a guy to throw in, and he's a left fielder 3. Now, I thought Duncan's a lefty, so that doesn't help me. Schumacher's a 3. Ooh, does he play defense? He plays defense at 3, first base. Let's bring in Scott Spezio. So Scott Spezio, the Angels in 0-2, actually. So Spezio will come in and hit. So Spezio will be the batter here in the seventh. So new pitcher for the Cardinals to come in. What an outing for Chris Carpenter. Here's the swing. That will be a 1-8. That'll be a 1-8 for Spezio versus the lefty. And that's gonna be a double 1-3. That's a 1. He gets it down the line on the chalk. And Spezio has a pinch hit double. So a double for Scott Spezio. Good job there for Scott. Now the second inning. Now it brings up David Eckstein. Let's see, Eckstein kind of, yeah, he's kind of just an overall. They got Spezia, 3 guys from that Angel team in 0-2. They had Eckstein, Spezio, and I think they had Percival on this team too. And they also had Adam Kennedy now. A lot of old Angels coming to play for the Cardinals this season. So here is Eckstein. Eckstein, the swing, right-handed. Here's a swing, 4-5 against Feliciano. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Pedro. And the side retired. No runs, 1 hit. They leave another man on base. We go to the 8th. It is 5-4 Cardinals. And now let's see who the Mets will bring up. This is going to be Beltran, Delgado, and Wright. So the meat of the Met order. So let's see. Probably a righty, and a righty. So, yeah, that's easy enough. To me, that sounds like Ryan Franklin, usually the setup guy to Isringhausen. So let's go ahead and bring Ryan Franklin out 3.04 ERA, 80 innings, 70. He can pitch 2 if need be, but he does not close at all. And you'll be in a closing situation in the ninth. So Franklin will come in. 7 strong. What about that? 7 strong innings for Carpenter. So Ryan Franklin in, a right-handed pitcher, and he will pitch to Beltran. So Beltran, Delgado, and Wright here in the 8th. Mets running out of outs. So here we go. And they're only down by a run, so it's been a close ball game all the way. 5-4. And there's a swing. 5-4 for Delgado for Beltran. 5-4 versus a lefty is a ballpark single, which is a 1-9. That's an 11. And Beltran is robbed by Kennedy again. Played him perfectly. So that is an 0 for 4 day for Beltran. Not the start you want for the Mets. All right. Have a good one, Barber. Hope we'll see you later. Here is Carlos Delgado. So Carlos Delgado, 2 for 3, 2 hits, a run scored. So he's been one of the hotter New York Mets here right now. We'll see if Delgado can continue. And 4-9 versus a lefty, and that's going to be a single 1-17. That's a 10. Boy, a lot of 10s. That one will go through past the second baseman. So Delgado is on. He's 3 for 4. So he's on base. Probably one should have had left someone in who can run for him, but he'll stay there. Here's David Wright. Not in any hurry to bring in Izzy right now. Wright's a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. 2-2 for David Wright versus right. Oh, just missed it. Fly ball in the left field, bit deep. Taguchi backs up. He's at the track, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Just didn't get it up enough. So 2 outs here. And now here is Moises Alou. Moises has flied to left, 3-run long home run, and lined to short. So again, he got robbed a bit by the 20-sided. 2 outs here for Moises. Does Moises maybe come alive right now? 5-3 versus a righty, and that's a ballpark single on a 2. That's a base hit. So Moises Alou gets himself another hit. It is now going to be first and second, 2 outs. And now it's Sean Green, the batter. Again, you don't probably look to bring a lefty here to nullify. To nullify Green. Wow, that's an interesting probability there. He'll pitch. Does he pitch to him or not? Ooh, first and third, Franklin. Cardinals looking at their bullpen, see if they got Flores, I guess. He'd be the lefty guy to maybe come in and stop the bleeding. Springer's a righty. Flores, 3-0, 4.25 ERA, 55 innings, 71 hits. Lefties doesn't get the lefties out like you'd want. Tyler Johnson's another lefties out. 224 versus righties. Again, nothing that jumps out that says stop him. Brandon Looper, he's a starter. Reyes, let's see. What do you do? Wow. Leave the pitcher out there. So Ryan Franklin will stay in there. He was out 238 versus righties, 231 versus righties, 231 righties, 238 lefties. So let's see if that will be okay. 2 outs, 2 on, first and third. And it's going to be Green. First, I should say it's first and second, my fault. Here's Green to swing. 3-9 versus a righty. 3-9 is a strikeout, and Ryan Franklin gets the size retired. Mets will strand 2 of their own. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-4 Cardinals. Wow. So Green retired. So now the Mets will, let's see, Feliciano, normally a quick one and done type guy. So 6, 7, 8. Probably will be Aaron, probably will be no Wagner yet. We go to their to their other close guy in the game. That would be Heilman. It's going to be, and it will be Valentine, a pinch hitter. So, yeah, let's go to Aaron Heilman here. 86 innings, 72 hits, one save, 234 lefties, 218 versus the righties. So let's see if Heilman can hold the door down here and keep it close. We are in the last of the eighth inning. Cardinals lead 5-4. So Heilman comes in for the match, trying to keep things close. And for the Cardinals, it will be in the middle of the order. Preston Wilson, Albert Pujols, and Scott Rowland. 5-8 for Heilman versus a righty. Is that right? We'll make sure. No, oh no, it's going to be Preston Wilson. I don't think that matters. It's going to be Heilman. Ground ball the second. So that would be Jose Valentin. He's a 4E19. Yikes. Another 4 on the Mets defense. Let's see if they make a play. A 10 should. Okay, now we start to look here and see what actually is happening. 10 on the 4 is a G3, so there's no hit. That's good. On the 3 dice, it's going to be a 12. It's going to be a 12 on a 19. Come on, Mr. Valentine. He does make the play. Good job, Jose. So that was kind of a little iffy play by Valentine. Gets it one away. And now here is, I believe we go, be a pinch hitter. Or that's, I'm sorry, Cardinals we're looking at. So that's the Cardinals. So I got messed up on that. Here's Albert. Albert is 1 for 4. You can tell his swings are getting better. He has grounded out, got the RBI in, grounded out, popped up, and then singled. 1 for 4 for Albert, hitting against a righty this time, but doesn't matter with this guy. Hall of Fame type numbers. 2-7 for Albert, and that's going to be a double 1-3. That's a single. Hard line drive, or no, double 1-9. That's a 15. So Albert is on. So he has 2 hits. Albert doing Albert things. Now here's Scotty Rowland with 1 out. Rowland so far in the ballgame has committed an error. He singled and scored, walked. He lined the short. Was like he lined, he lined the short and fly to left. He's already up for his 5th time today in the through 8 innings. So here's Heilman from the stretch. He's a +1. Albert not running anywhere. 1-4. He's definitely not a 1 column guy. That's ground ball to first. Picked up by Delgado. Goes to Reyes. Back to first and a double play. First double play of the ball game, and the size retired. We head to the 9th. Let's see if the Mets can get a happy recap here in St. Louis. It's 5-4 Cardinals. So the Mets will bring up Valentine, a pinch hitter for Heilman, and then Reyes. And of course, the bottom of the 9th, if we get that far, could be Wagner. So he gives him the 1 inning he needed, and Franklin goes to 1 inning. That means you get the former New York Met, Jason Isringhausen. He'll come out and see if he can close it here for the Cardinals in the 9th. We'll see who bats after Valentine. Valentine so far today is 0 for 3. So the Mets don't have a lot of arms on this bench. And boy, Isringhausen was good. 4-0, 2.48 ERA, 42 hits, 65 innings, 32 saves. And there's not much on that card. So Isringhausen giving up some home runs. And that's where you want to be, I guess. Yes, you want to give the righties a chance against him. 196 versus lefties, 167 versus righties, but it gives up a little more power. So let's see with Izzy, what do you want to do? He'll finish his warm-ups. Valentine's 0 for 3. And he hit 241, 166 at bats. Now will be the opportunity to probably start getting some pinch hitters for the Mets. They've already used David Newham. He got a base hit in the ball game already. With the only other bench players they have is going to be Ramon Castro, the catcher, so he'll be probably not used. Damon Easley, he's a 3 at second, so he could probably come in and take some swings. And then you it's either going to be Lastings Millage or Andy Chavez to bat for the pitcher spot. So Damon Easley, the former Tiger, played a couple of their teams, will come in and swing here. So Easley will swing for Valentine. Easley will swing there. Top of the ninth. Here we go. Magic. Do we get it here in Cardinal land? Damon Easley. 6-6 with a 3 on the split. 6-6 a walk. So there you go. The Mets have started something going here. Now they can't really take him out. They have anybody else to play second base. He doesn't have speed. They will not hold him on either. So he'll be on first. Now, does that leave Aaron Heilman a chance to stay in and maybe bunt him in? Or do you go for the bat here? Of course, you probably bat him here. So let's see what options are for the Mets. So let's see. I think Millage is a righty. We'll probably go to Lastings Millage here. Millage is a right-handed bat with power, especially versus bat 317 versus lefties though. But Lastings Millage will come in and swing. He'll try to get going here, see if the Mets can catch lightning in a bottle. As they say, maybe he'll run into one. I've heard so many times. So Millage will come in and he'll swing. He'll swing the bat here for Easley. So let's put Valentine up here with everyone else. Thank you. Let's see what Millage does. David Newham. Nope, you don't need to be here anymore. You can go up there with the rest of the gang. So Lastings Millage will swing here against Jason Isringhausen. Chance for the Mets to maybe get something going here. Here we go. Big swing for Lastings Millage. 1-8 for Millage. And hit by a pitch. Ouch. And he goes to second. Oh, Isringhausen kind of having a hard time reading the plate. So hit by pitch for Millage on a 1-8. So first and second, nobody out. And it brings up Jose Reyes. So the Mets trying to have a little RJL magic here. First and second, and nobody out. Reyes trying to get the job done. Reyes so far in the ball game 1 for 4. Isringhausen from the right hand side, and the pitch 2-8 for Reyes versus a righty. Popped it up. Oof, bad time. Shortstop Eckstein got it 1 away. So a big out there for Reyes. He's 1 for 5, but now you got the Met bats up you want, and it's going to be Paul LaDuca. Again, he's better off hitting from the against lefties, so he's going to have. Hopefully, you don't get the double play here. It is a 5-4 ball game. Cardinals 1 out in the ninth. First and second Mets. Easley at second. Millage at first. 1 out for LaDuca in the swing. 3-3 versus a righty is a foul out behind the plate. Third baseman will come over. Roland at the dugout makes the catch, and there's 2 outs in the ninth. So now it's up to the guy they're paying all this money to. I'm not talking about Bobby Bonilla. I'm talking about Carlos Beltran. So Beltran, the batter, much better hitter against right lefties. He still has power. Here in St. Louis, home runs are only 1-3. So ballpark diamond home runs will go to die, most likely. Isringhausen looking to close this out after walking and hit by pitch the first 2 batters of this inning. First and second, 2 outs. Beltran the batter. Do the Mets get a happy recap or not? Isringhausen from the stretch. 3-7 for Beltran. Struck him out, and that's your ball game. The New York Mets do not win. That is it. Final score, Cardinals win at 5-4, and they win this ball game. Winning pitcher is Chris Carpenter. He goes 7 innings. It is reported after the game he has elbow issues. He'll need MRI. The MRI does show he will have Tommy John surgery, and Carpenter will be out the rest of the season. The hold will go to Ryan Franklin. The save will go to Jason Isringhausen. The losing pitcher is Tom Glavine. He got roughed a bit. That was the kind of problem they had today. They just couldn't get enough hits, and Glavine didn't exactly keep them in the game. So the Cardinals win this one 5-4. Let's see if we can find out the hits here in the ball game. So let's do some math like we did in class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Didn't get much hits there. 7, 8, like the count says. 9, and 9 a walk. So they got 9 hits. So the Mets went 4 runs on 9 hits. The Cardinals had the only error. The Cardinals, they had 3 hits in the first, including a triple by Eckstein, single by Rowland, homer by Molina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they got the Glavine hard. 12, 13, 14. So 14 hits for the Cardinals. So they definitely had more offense than the Mets did. Cardinals did have the only error by Rowland. So that's going to do it. Final score here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, home of the world champion 2006 Cardinals. Since we're playing 2007, this was the ESPN opening night game of the season. So the Mets will go to 0-1. The Cardinals will go to 1-0. And we'll be back at some point to play the next game. We'll see. We'll maybe play this cards and dice via the computer, or bring out the cards again and kind of do a radio kind of broadcast. We'll try to fix what we have here. Kind of limited on the production value, but hopefully all you guys had a good night. Appreciate it. Come again. Again, this has been the Sports Time Machine for 2007 New York Met baseball. Have a good rest of your evening, folks.